Hi, everybody, and welcome to Proline. As we get it rolling, the bowl season is here. We're winding down to the last couple of weeks of the NFL regular season. College basketball now in full swing. The exams are done. Conference play about to begin. It's been a fascinating start to the NBA season as well, so lots of good stuff out there. We've got some great offers this weekend and some good games to talk about as well. Hopefully some decent handicapping advice coming your way. Jim Feist is here. John Cranton as well. My name is Dave Koken. We're going to start things off by getting you caught up on what's going on with our offers. And Jim, it continues to go extremely well for you. Numbers 26, 13, and 1 NFL run. That's 67% on 40 plays. Nobody's going to argue with that, that's for sure. Keep it going.
Thank you, Dave. It's been a good season. A couple games the last couple of weeks have been disappointing, but for the most part, you know you're not going to win 70, 80, 90% of your games anyway. So if you can hang in that 60, 65, 67 range, you're pretty happy at the end of the year financially. And it has been that good. I'm off a 7-4-1 football weekend, swept with the Army-Navy side in total. My road warrior with the Chiefs was a winner, 26, 13, and 1, as you said. Now I have a special stocking stuffer special for sports. Sports stocking stuffer. Well, how do you even say that? That's a tongue twister. Sports stocking stuffer. 3 S's. You very slowly, exactly. Yeah, right. And fill it up with cash. Here's the deal. You play through Xmas Day, that's Christmas Day, executive and inner circle plays for $25. Football, basketball, hockey. You get it all. 1-866-841-1655. 1-866-841-1655. That's football, basketball, and hockey. I can count to 3. $25. Fill your basket. Fill your stocking. 1-866-841-1655. Dave?
I'm going to have another Proline only special offer. Now, right now, if you go to the website, you'll see that I have advertised my bowl package for $99, and then I'm including a free week of basketball with that. I'm going to slice that right in half. The bowls get underway this weekend, so there's still time to sign up. And you'll get a bowl play on every single bowl game. A rated play on every single bowl game. That's 35 bowl games. You're going to get a play on every one of them. You're going to get my bowl game of the year, which by itself is going to sell for $99 online. What I'm going to do, in addition to that, is I'm going to include that week of basketball. But unlike the website and elsewhere where it's advertised for $99, $49, half price. I'm knocking 50% right off the top. This is only for those of you watching this video. Nobody else will know about it. $49, you get a bowl selection on every single bowl game. That by itself is a tremendous value. The bowl game of the year is included, plus a week of hoops. And I got to tell you something. College has been back and forth a little bit lately, but the NBA, holy cow. It's one of the best roles I've ever been on in the NBA. I mean, I'm basically not losing any games in the NBA. I lost the last game I lost in the NBA, and I don't play a whole lot of games, so I don't want to make it sound like I'm like 25-0 or something like that. The last game I lost in the NBA was last week, and that was the Pistons against the Nets. They're up 20 in the fourth quarter. They win the game by 4, so they didn't cover 5.5. So I got nudged out there. Everything else is coming in like clockwork in the NBA. Get in on this package for $49. It's worth way more than that, especially the way I'm going right now. The number to call, 1-866-896-1629. That's 1-866-896-1629. John, what does Mr. Vegas have going this weekend?
Well, Mr. Vegas has his NFL Game of the Year going on Sunday. It's $100 online at jimfeist.com. However, there's a Proline special. For $19, you get that big play, the NFL Game of the Year. You get all of the Saturday bowls that are available and an NBA high roller play, a wise guy play going tonight. All this for $19 from Mr. Vegas, 1-866-896-1627.
Well, we got our Twitter question of the week before we get into some other stuff. And it's a good question. It comes from Bill Cole in Naples, Florida, where he doesn't have to worry about the weather he's describing. By the way, you can follow us on Twitter at Jim Feist Sports or friend us on Facebook at Proline TV, and that's where we get the questions from. And Bill's question is, Cold weather used to affect NFL games under the total in December. Then he starts listing the games. Lions and Eagles, 34-20 in a blizzard. Dolphins, Steelers, 34-28 in the snow. Vikings, Ravens, 29-26. Bears, Browns, 38-31. What the hell is going on this year? Asks Bill. This past Sunday was the most points scored in one NFL day in history, Jim, in December. Go figure.
Well, this isn't our NFL, Dave. We're both, we've both seen many moons pass over, and this is a different league. It kind of reminds me a lot of the old, what was it, the USFL or the AFL?
Yeah.
Daryl LaMonica, the bombs away stuff. It's more like that. It's like a video game now. And look at these wide receivers. You got some guys out there that's 6'6", 6'7", 6'5".
Unbelievable.
They're big, they're fast, they're strong, they're extremely athletic. The body fat on these guys is almost nothing. They're strong as bulls. Quarterbacks are big. They throw the ball all over the place. And the defensive players, the thing is, years ago, the opportunities were there to take advantage of bad weather and score easily. I think the offensive coordinators didn't understand that they could do it. And today, all they do is they say, run it, fly, whatever you make the break, we'll get the ball there. The defense has no idea where they're going. Tackling is terrible. If you go back to the union rules, collective bargaining, where they don't even practice. They never practice tackling. So it's inferior this year. So when a guy gets open field, you miss tackles. The guy's a 3-yard pass ends up a 70-yard touchdown. The game has changed. The totals are flying over every week. The odds makers are at fault here. They have to realize the game has changed and they need to change the numbers they're putting up on these games because it's a joke. Now, we're taking advantage of that and we're winning money. But if you're looking for a reason, there it is. The odds makers are making mistakes because they're not realizing the game has changed. The defenses are inferior. The offensive has all the advantages on the rules. And the weather is actually making it easier to score, the bad weather. Now, if you had really high wind, that probably would change things quite a bit because you wouldn't be able to throw the ball as accurately. So I think wind is probably the biggest condition. Ice, of course, if that happens, slippery fields, but they have special shoes now for that. So I'm not so sure that weather should be considered an underplay anymore.
No, it never,
and
it
unless
never really
the odds.
I was going to say,
in the old days it was.
Well, but from the standpoint of, but I never thought it was snow or rain. You just hit it. It wasn't snow or rain that impacted these games. It was wind. It's always been wind. Snow and rain. To me, the offense always has an advantage. They know where they're going. The defense doesn't. If you can go out, if you're living someplace where there's snow on the ground right now, you try it with your wife. Have her play defense, and you go on offense, and you make a move on her.
Dave,
she's not going to get you.
I have no chance against my wife.
No,
she's in much better shape. I have no chance. Zero.
I think you hit.
But you're right.
All the keys.
I was going to say, you're right. The thing is, when you have the wide open offenses, the shotguns, the spread offenses, in the old days, there was probably a 60 or 70% of the plays were running plays.
Right.
Now they're not. So it is changed.
Right.
It's changed a lot.
What I'm saying is, if they played the style of football now, if they played this style 20 years ago, we'd have been having the same discussion then about what the hell's going on with the game. Because you hit it. The athletes, the athletes on offense are unbelievable. Look, Raymond Berry is one of the best wide receivers of all time. Couldn't get on the field today. Sorry, he just couldn't get on the field. You take a look at Des Bryant. Des Bryant, guy's incredible. Now he might be a goofball, but he's what 6'5". He's like 230, 240. He catches everything that's thrown to him. I mean, this guy's hands are unbelievable. And by the way, add in what is horrible technique on defense. It's not tackle football anymore. It's collision football. Nobody tackles. Everybody looks for the big hit. When you said at the top, it's like a video game. That is exactly right. It is like a video game, and everybody wants to make the video game spectacular hit rather than just wrap it up, guys. Although I guess it's not easy to wrap them up when they're 6'5" and 250, and they can just break away from you anyway. You got to knock them off their feet. It's tough. I wouldn't want to be a defensive coordinator right now. It's a tough job. All right.
Dave, one thing I was watching the Miami game last week against New England. It was really interesting because Brady was hitting his receivers, but his receivers are 5'11", 5'9", and the defensive players for Miami, a little bit bigger, very athletic, were knocking the balls out of their hands. Gronkowski, who's 6'6", he's a monster, probably would have caught several of those passes. The huge difference when you have guys like Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey and these big wide receivers from these quarterbacks that can throw the ball 60, 70 yards, on the button. I mean, it's a huge difference. These players are bigger, stronger, faster. And the question coming to this week on Twitter, I think you put all those factors together and you have your answer.
Yep. And, it's a good question. And hopefully we got you a little good information there. All right. Let's check in with our man on the street, Jeff Sott from LVSS. Jeff, once again with a free National Football League total. What do you got this week, Jeff?